Are you ready to have your website get found by the right people? Are you looking to rank at the top of Google so you get more traffic to your website? Are you ready to learn how to use SEO and content marketing to grow your organic traffic? If so, you are in the right place, my friend. Welcome to the Simple SEO Content Podcast, where I show you how to combine the power of SEO, search engine optimization, and content marketing to build your like, know, and trust factor with your audience, which allows you to get found by the right people and turn those visitors into buyers. No more frustration or confusion, and no more time wasted wondering if you're doing your SEO right. It's time to learn how to use SEO and content marketing to grow your business. Hi, my friends. Welcome back to the Simple SEO Content Podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Lindhagen, and today we're talking about your email list. So, my friend, if you are a business owner and you don't yet have an email list for your business, I want you to promise me that you're going to listen to this episode, and then you're going to listen to next week's episode where I talk to you about how to create an opt-in to grow your email list, because your email list is one of the most important assets that you can build to help grow your business. It really is a critical asset for you to have and part of your overall marketing plan. So your email list is critical because you own your contact information. You own your email list. It allows you to communicate with your audience, your fans, your followers, the people who your business is designed to serve, because they have said, "Hi, I want to get something from you. I want to learn from you. I want to work with you. I want to know more about your business. I like your business." And you have the opportunity to email them on a regular basis and to really build that connection that you have between the two of you, between you and your customer, your potential customer, and nurture it and build a relationship and become a resource for them. Your email list is critical because, like I said, you own it, but also you own that communication channel. You can send a message, you can promote, you can offer a free training, you can offer a freebie, you can offer a paid product or a course, you can send your blog post information. There's so much that you can do with an email list. And you know that everyone who has signed up for it has the potential to read it. It's going to be their choice whether or not they open the email, whether or not they click through, whether or not they read it. But they all have the potential to see your message. When you're posting on social media, you only get between 2 and 5% of the people who have already said, "I want to get information from this business or this person." They follow you, they like your page, whatever. You're only going to get 2 to 5% of them actually being able to see your message. Whereas when you're on email and they've said, "I want to get email from this business," your open rates are going to vary, but generally we look for at least a 20% open rate. Some industries we see higher than that, and there are things you can do to try to increase your open rate. So if you have 1,000 people on your email list and you have a 20% open rate, that means 200 people would open and read your email. If you have 1,000 people following you on social media with a 2% visibility or 2% rate, that's 20 people out of 1,000 who would see you or see your message, compared to that 200 out of 1,000 who would read your email. So that's why building your email list is important. Now, there are things that we're going to do when we do create an email list to make sure that we're really protecting it and we're providing value, because if we take advantage of it and we just spam out messages constantly, we're going to lose that trust with our potential customer. They're not going to become our customer. Think about your own experience with email. If you have a business that emails you every single day, are you happy to get emails from them every single day? Or do you feel like, holy cow, overload. I don't need this many emails. You want to think about your ideal customer and what do they need and what do they want and why are they choosing to join your email list? And we're going to talk next week a lot about our opt-ins and how we get them to join our email list, because generally just saying, hey, join my email list is not enough. Most people don't truly want to join your email list unless they know that there's something of benefit for them. So when we're doing our email marketing, we want to think about what's in it for me from your consumer's perspective. And the reality is we want to think about that with all marketing we're doing. Your consumer's number one question is, what's in it for me? They don't care why you're emailing them. They care what the benefit is to themselves. So when you're building an email list, if you have not done it yet, I want you to work on this. We're going to talk about next week how we choose an opt-in. An opt-in can be referred to as an opt-in. It can be a valuable freebie. Generally, it's a free offer that's a resource that you put together for your ideal customer, and then you share it. You share it on your podcast or on your YouTube channel. You share it on your social media. You share it if you do a podcast interview. You put a link to it if you have a blog that you're writing. You have a pop-up about it on your website or a message about it on your website. To understand what an opt-in is, I'll walk through a couple of them that I have. So you've probably heard me say, if you have questions or you want to get this resource, go to the freebies tab on my website, etchedmarketing.com/freebies. That tab is full of opt-ins. You can choose the SEO Content Quick Start Guide. You can take a free class. The marketing stuff is starting to go up there. So you'll be able to have the marketing class. You'll have the marketing plan template. There's a blogging guide. Like there's all sorts of stuff. They're all freebies. They're all there to help you as an ideal customer, depending upon where you are in your journey and what you're most interested in. You want to make sure that your opt-in is something that's going to provide value for your ideal customer. It's going to make their life easier. They're going to be able to get a quick win. And we'll talk more about this next week. You want to share it everywhere you possibly can, because that's how you're going to grow your email list. And then you need to take responsibility and really be careful with those email addresses that you get. You will need to partner with an email service provider, something like MailChimp, Constant Contact, ConvertKit, Flowdesk, ActiveCampaign, Infusionsoft. There are lots of options out there. The right one is going to be the one that's the easiest for you to use, that works with the right price point, that has the features that you want. I personally use ActiveCampaign and have for a number of years, but that doesn't mean it's the right one for you. The right one for you is going to be the one that seems the most intuitive to you, that you can understand, you can use, you can work with. You're going to want to create a weekly nurture email. It's very important when you have an opt-in. We'll talk more about your opt-in and your opt-in nurture sequence, but then you also want to make sure that you're emailing your list on a regular basis. You should be emailing them once a week. You already know you're supposed to be creating a piece of content, a blog post, something like that once a week. Well, that can be the base of the content in your email, is to let them know about the new piece of content, how it helps them. If you run a webinar, or you teach an online course, or you have counseling or coaching sessions, or maybe you are a product-based business, or maybe you're a realtor, your content is going to be focused on those areas that are the most important to your ideal customer. So as a realtor, maybe right now interest rates are going crazy, home prices are kind of up, and interest rates are up significantly from where they were, and people are afraid to buy. So maybe you're writing a blog post about the fact that while it can feel scary, it's actually still a good time to buy, because even though the rates are high compared to where they were a year or two ago, they're still historically low, and you always have the opportunity to refinance in the future, and that maybe today's the best time to buy because there are fewer people in the market. So maybe you create a blog post about that, and then you email the people on your email list who are interested in buying homes. You can segment your email list, which is a really good thing to do. And it's one of the best practices as you're growing. If you have multiple opt-ins and you know you have two or three ideal customers and they're interested in different things, then maybe you have different emails for them. So maybe that email would go to somebody who has opted in for something about buying a home, but maybe it wouldn't go to an investor. If you have another opt-in that's all about investment properties, they probably don't care as much about the reassurance that it's still a good time to buy a home unless you have a twist on it from an investment standpoint. So you really want to think about who you're trying to connect with and what message they need. So you may be sending more than one email a week because you're sending to different segments. But in the beginning, you're probably just sending one blanket email to your list. For years, I've done one email. I will potentially be changing that in 2024 because now I'm going to be offering the Simple Marketing Program and the Simple SEO Content Program. And while there's a ton of overlap, I may have some people on the list who really are only interested in marketing. They don't want to do SEO, and that's okay. I mean, you and I both know that doing SEO and content is one of the best ways to get free traffic to your website. But if somebody's really focused on paid ads, they may not care about that side, but they still may want the marketing training. So I am leaning towards creating a second email so that one focuses on the marketing podcast and one focuses on the SEO podcast. We'll see how the year plays out because the reality is I need to make sure I have the bandwidth to tackle it that way. You too, my friend, I want you to start by doing what you can. You can always grow. You can always expand and do more in the future. So what I want you to promise me for now is that you'll look into email marketing. Do some research, see which email platform looks like one that you could use. You're comfortable with the price point. It makes sense to you. It's pretty easy to create an email in there. You may want to work with a designer to help you design your email, but I'm also going to say from an email marketing best practices standpoint, keep your emails fairly simple because the more graphics you have to load, like those really fancy, pretty HTML emails, people don't necessarily want to load them all. So sometimes it works better just to have a very simple email. Mine has a header. And then I generally have a little anecdote or a story or something about what's going on. And then I talk about the training topic for the week, which is the blog post. I talk about the podcast or the YouTube. I put the links in to make it easy for you. Sometimes if there's a special training or something coming up, I'll send a specific email about that. But I try really hard to send one email a week. And then if I'm in a promotional period a couple times a year, you will get more emails from me during that time frame. That's okay. But you don't want to send 6 emails a week, and you don't want to send all promotional emails and nothing of value to your ideal customer because what's in it for them? Nothing. If everything you're sending them is promotional, they're not really getting a benefit out of it. So you need to make sure that you're thinking about them. So when you're building your email list, and I want you to work on building your email list, there's lots of ways you can build it. We'll talk about your opt-in next week. You can build your email, and you should, by offering your opt-in in all the different places we've talked about. You should have it on your website. You should share it on social. You should talk about it when you do interviews or podcasts or things like that. You want to make sure that you're creating an opt-in that's going to help your ideal customer because they're going to opt in. They're going to add themselves to your email list. You're going to set up an automated sequence that's going to send it to them. And then they should get that message from you, those messages from you on a regular basis, because that helps to build your know, your trust, and your likability factors. So when I teach SEO and content, I talk about the fact that SEO helps with the know factor. It helps new people find our website. Building your email list and creating your content and sharing it out on a regular basis helps with the likability and the trust factor. Because if you know there's an email from me in your inbox every Thursday morning, which is what you get right now. It used to be Wednesdays. I moved it to Thursdays when I started adding the second podcast episode on Tuesdays. I moved everything around a little bit. But you know, every Thursday morning, there's an email from me. And you hopefully know that there's something of value. There's a training lesson. There's a blog post. There's a podcast link. There's something in there that's going to benefit you. And then about 3 times a year, there's a sales sequence or there's a free training class or there's something that you can go through and you can learn and you can join me in simple SEO content or simple marketing, and you can really learn how to grow your business and work with me one-on-one or work with me in a small group in that class. That's what you want to do, is really build that relationship with your customers through your email. So if you're not yet emailing your customers, you don't have an email list, you haven't figured it all out, I want you to plan on doing that in 2024. If you're not sure how to do this, you don't yet have your niche really figured out, you're still kind of struggling with who your ideal customer is, you're not sure if you have a product or a service yet or what you can sell or how you can do this, join me in simple marketing. So I just ran a free training class on it where we put together our 2024 marketing plan. You can get the replay on that if you email me. I'll get that up there so that you can watch the replay, and then that'll give you a special invitation to join us. We're going through that right now so that by the holidays, we'll have our 2024 marketing plans ready to go. Or I will be offering that class again in February. So you'll be able to take simple marketing with me in 2024, where we'll go through all of this and we'll really explain in depth what each type of marketing is and how to put a marketing plan together and your calendar and really get you set and ready for success from this point forward. But if you're ready, get started now. Go do some research on email service providers. Decide which one you want to use. Listen to next week's episode where we're going to talk about your opt-in and how we figure out what a good opt-in is and where we share it and what we do with it. And then I want you to work on putting together an opt-in, choosing your email service provider, and growing your email list on your 2024 plan as one of your goals. And remember, go back to the SMART goals episode if you need help on how to write a really great goal. You remember you want it to be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. So if you're not yet building your email list, or you have one, you've got everything in place, but you're not doing it consistently, I want your goal for 2024 to include being consistent, because my friends, being consistent is truly what makes the difference in seeing the success from your efforts. All right, that's it for why you need an email list and your first homework to get you started, headed in the right direction. Next week, we're going to talk all about opt-ins. That's all for today's episode of the Simple SEO Content Podcast. I want to thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you visit my website, etchedmarketing.com, and visit the freebies tab. Right there, you're going to find the SEO Content Quick Start Guide along with the free SEO class. So you'll have everything you need to know to get started with SEO and content marketing. Then do me a favor, if you wouldn't mind, if you would do a rating and a review of this podcast on your favorite platform. That would really help spread the message, and I do greatly appreciate it. If you have any questions, you can always DM me on Instagram at Etched Marketing Academy, and I will see you right back here next week.